can smell antifreeze.
Till Hey, Kurt Curtis coming at you from the Full Octane Garage, and today we're going to change the radiator in the Acura NSX. We found that we had a leak in it, and as much as I hated to see that we had a leak in it, we decided to go ahead and get a new radiator. Now, we had two options for radiators that I found out there. We had the expensive for about $390, and then we had the budget all aluminum radiator off of Amazon for $110. So we chose the Full Octane budget radiator for $115, delivered free shipping. So this is the first time we're actually going to break this radiator out and see what it looks like.
Oh, you did a pre-peek.
I did a pre-peek. So let's pull this thing apart. We looked at our old radiator. The old radiator had a molded plastic top and bottom on it, which over time breaks apart from the aluminum. So we felt that it was better to go with a full aluminum radiator. And it's like unboxing at Christmas.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah, it looks really nice. So it has all the mounting holes for the fans. Actually, it's upside down because there's two additional mounts here for the electrical components to the fans. All the fins are nice and straight, unlike the one we have in the car. Now the nice thing is it has little pocket pins that drop down into the car.
Are there already holes in the car?
There are holes in the car.
Nice.
And then we take the top pocket pins off, which is also going to be the hood hold. That's what I'm going to need James to help hold the hood up while we pull the radiator out.
That's my job.
That's his job. And then we'll drop this thing in there, get it all put back together, and then we'll show you how to bleed the system properly. So for today's job, we're going to need a couple of simple hand tools. They're going to be metric. So if we come down here and look, we have a pair of pliers. We have two different styles of pliers. We have an extension in case we need it. We have a ratchet, and we have a 10 millimeter and a 12 millimeter socket. The 10 millimeter socket is going to be used to remove the fans, and the 12 millimeter socket is going to be used to remove the actual top of the radiator. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go ahead and try to take the radiator hoses off. I've already removed the bottom clamp because it's a little challenging. I'm going to work on the top of them right now. So with a pair of pliers, the factory clamps are actually squeeze grips. They are not screw grips. So we're going to squeeze it with the pliers,
Trying to bust the joke.
move them off. They're just on there a little tight. They've been replaced. So just gotta loosen it up a little bit where it's stuck. There we go. Just work them a little bit, melt them loose. There we go. And the bottom one's the same way. Now we're going to use our 10 millimeter socket to remove the fan. The two bottom bolts of the fan were rusted out. I had to work on them a little bit. I've got replacements for them, so you will not see us taking the bottom ones off. Actually, I'm going to work on the extension. I'm going to work on removing the cable first. These are 10 millimeter, and we will reuse all of these 10 millimeters. Well, this aluminum part doesn't stick.
This is the first all aluminum body car, production car.
Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and remove this wire here, the plug for the fan. I've got one top fan screw out here, the second one comes. I believe this is all that there is, yep.
Oh, this is so handy.
And now we have
Check that out.
one fan off of the car. It seems to be spinning freely, so we think that's in good shape. Set that aside. Okay, now everything is ready to clear on the radiator with the exception of these top brackets. And actually I might be able to just loosen that one and not totally remove it. And this is where the 12mm socket's going to come into play. We're going to have to remove this particular top prop mounting unit because this is where you can see where the radiator sits into it. All it does is a rubber bushing holds the radiator from vibrating.
God, if you don't loosen it up, it might lever up.
I'm going to put this one out for ease because there's not anywhere for that one to go forward.
Yeah.
The other side has a little bit of play. And there we go, that's off. Let's see if we can just loosen this one. But I don't want the hood to fall on my head. Close, so close. Yeah, hold that hood.
I'm holding the hood because you can see the hood holder is attached to the mounting bracket here.
Move this whole thing for a moment. And
Wow.
then the radiator comes out.
If your Honda dealer charges anything more than 30 minutes on this,
And we're going to drain the radiator fluid into a bucket.
Now would be a good time to pull the leaves and other debris out that were in front of the radiator.
yeah, we just found this that was broken off the bottom, and look, the Japanese supplied a wrench. Is it the right size?
It is, I can't tell what millimeter it is. It does look like it's the right size. So perfect. We have a spare wrench now we have to derust.
Thank you, Acura.
Okay, we got the other radiator out. The new radiator actually looks like it is a little thicker. It is. Looks like it's got more cooling capacity, which is good. It appears that all of the mounting holes are in the same spots. It does have the same pins top and bottom. The one difference on this is the original radiator used a very unique plug which had the O-ring inside of the plastic. What we're finding is that the replacement radiator does not. It has an O-ring on the bottom side, so you cannot use the plastic plugs in this radiator. You have to use these, which means when you go to drain your radiator fluid, you're going to have to take the nut out or the bolt out rather than utilizing the plastic. Same thing if you ever wanted to bleed it from the top. So before we mount this in the car, we're going to tighten this up pretty good. But the radiator looks beautiful.
Packaged really well.
For $115 delivered to your door, you can't beat it. We'll hope that the performance is as good or better as that. And I suspect it's going to be better because this is a full 2-core radiator and aluminum tops and bottoms. Good cooling dissipation. So I think we're going to be in good shape. So let's get to putting it in. Okay, we're going to drop this new radiator in. Whoops.
You're right.
You're okay. Okay, now that James has fallen off the lift successfully,
Safety first.
yeah, we're going to drop this new radiator in and hopefully not have any clearance issues. Looks like it's going right in. I gotta find that little hole that goes into. I think it's gonna be okay. Let's put this one in and see. Okay, we'll put it down a little bit. Okay.
All right, we got the radiator in place. You got the bracket corners on. I'm putting the little here.
Okay.
What else fails?
Okay, that's on there. It helps. It's missing
on the bottom.
Yeah, it's just catching on the lip there. I think it just needs to be trimmed a little bit because these are probably lower. Let me mark it. Trimming is not a big deal.
It's like rotated. It's not square with the screw holes either, but I guess that's because it's hitting.
It's hitting up here. This
right
one's
here.
got to be trimmed. So if I go right there, right there.
Yes. All right, our awesome aluminum radiator.
It's the price you pay for bargain radiators. There are some fitment issues with the fan shroud, which is easily repaired. We'll show you what we're going to do. Okay, so what we're having is a fitment issue in the top part of the radiator hose and the lower part where the fan shroud is coming in and it's making it be tilted. So we're going to trim a little bit out of here. We're going to start here, kind of work our way here. This isn't going to affect any airflow or anything. So I'll take a grinding wheel. On the bottom we'll have the same similar thing. Get that. And we'll just test fit it a couple times, grind a little bit off.
Let's show them the finished product.
Okay, so we've tapered the top section a little bit, we've tapered the bottom a little bit, and we'll see if that's enough to get us the clearance we need.
All right, so we trimmed just a little bit more off the fan shroud near the top and bottom things. Connectors on the aluminum radiator. Looks good on the sun.
Well, actually, let's put this all back together. Okay, what we're going to talk about now is the material that we're going to be using. For the the Hondas, there is the recommended Honda Nissan premix Prestone 50/50 mix, so you don't mix any water. This is pre-diluted. We're going to take 3 gallons of new and about a gallon of the old, put it in a bucket, and that's what we're going to be drawing down on. Today what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to properly fill a mid-engine vehicle's radiator system where you would initially have to do venting and bleeding in the system. So this is a mid-engine car. The radiator is actually filled from a fill jug in the back of the car. It's very similar to a Porsche Boxster, the Porsche GT4s, and even the rear engine 911s most likely, but this is an Acura NSX we're doing today. And what we're going to do is we have this product called an Airlift. And what Airlift does, you actually have a device that you plug into the radiator fill jug, tighten it down, and it seals. And then it has this Venturi system that's actually in the other bucket. The Venturi system, when you plug an air compressor hose on it, it draws a vacuum down on the radiator system. And we're going to see a vacuum of somewhere around 25 pounds of vacuum on the system. And then you'll close it off, and we'll go through the whole thing while we're doing it. Submerge your hose in the bucket of antifreeze. Put about 4 gallons of antifreeze in the bucket. From a clear fill on this car, it takes almost 4 gallons. And then when you open the valve up, it's going to suck the antifreeze into the system, and you want the bucket higher than your fill point so that it gravity feeds as the vacuum goes in. It'll go a lot faster. So let's get right to setting this up. Okay, now we're going to apply this to the radiator catch can, and you will notice that there are different sizes that can slip on here depending on the size of your radiator input, and then they have this generic one that kind of is concaved and fits anything. But I know this one's going to be right, so what we're going to do is put it in here as deep as it will go, and then you're going to tighten down the brass ring until it's snug into the fitting of the input. Because you want it to draw a good vacuum. The second piece to this is, I do have a vent hose, and I want to make sure this vent hose doesn't suck any air just in case it doesn't drop down in there all the way. So what I've done is I've taken a small pair of vice grips and I've put a couple of rubber hose clips on here just so it's soft so that I don't pinch the hose with a hard piece of metal. So I'm going to go around that metal, around this hose. I'm going to crimp it so that no air can be brought into this. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put this piece on. This is the Venturi that draws a vacuum. We have the catch can here, and then we're going to apply air pressure to this. And you'll see the vacuum starting to draw on this. And you can feel air coming out of it here, so it's drawing a vacuum down on the car.
Now, if that needle doesn't move, it means you don't have a tight system.
It means you don't have a tight system. And it is drawing some moisture out of the system, so it is good to have a catch can. And you want to draw it down as far as it will go. Once it stops, the needle stops moving, you're done. And it's still going a little bit.
Quick check also, a visual check to see if you're getting the vacuum, is the vacuum's pulling all the hoses, collapsing all the hoses. You can see it's all very flat now. That's pretty cool. There's the other one down at the bottom.
Let's go fill some up.
In the bucket.
Oh shit.
Well, you can just hold it down. Oh, I see some air.
I thought it was in the can.
Oh yeah, I did tell you it was a two-man job.
You want to keep this end down in there.
Yeah, you want to keep that end down in there. Hold on, let me get some more. Now, I'm trying to figure out what the best approach is. Hold this stuff way down in the bucket.
It's all right with the car.
Yeah, it's not really all the way down. I think that's going to be about as much as we're going to be able to get. So what I'm going to do is turn the air off. Take this off. There he is.
We're still trying to snake all the air out of the
Two, you know.
That's right, you little bastard. There it goes.
Okay. This is not the cleanest job. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to turn both of these on. And let me see where this thing is. Okay, I've got it. You can let go. Okay, we're going to let this thing launch. You're going to see all of this fluid go into the car. You still recording?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, because it's got a vacuum
Here
right
it
now.
goes. Yep. So it's just launching into the car right now. You can hear it flowing.
Oh, look how quickly the level's going down.
Oh yeah.
Now, if we go to the front, will it eventually start filling the...
Oh yeah, those hoses
thing?
are probably already. I don't know that any more is going in there or not. Just let it drain all the way down. It's a pretty ingenious system.
So, when it stops coming out, you valved it off.
I valved it off. I'm going to open up the overflow in case there is some more overflowing in here. We may be full. I really can't see anything. Let's see if we... Oh yeah, it's right to the top. So the bad news is I'm going to have to suck some of that out because the level's too high, but that's okay.
Now you can see where Kurt really performs.
I have the ultimate sucker.
All right, so there's a line on the tank that shows the max level, and right now it's all the way to the top.
It is right to the top.
Can you see through the tank right now?
Not really.
I see either.
No, I'm going to have to. So this is my one-man brake bleeder, but it's also a liquid extractor. So
Is there another video for this?
there is
somewhere?
another video on this
We'll
called the
put a-
one-man brake bleeding system. Don't forget to watch it.
We'll put a link down at the bottom.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure how far it is with this hose from the top, which is right to the max, and I'm going to drop it in here, and I'm going to run it until it quits sucking. Nope, perfect. Okay, I can see the level. It is, I can look in here and see the tank with my light here is clearly at the proper level. So my container was the right size.
was?
Barely.
Story locks will be fine.
Now we're going to make sure we get rid of all the excess parts that are left in the engine bay. Close her up, we'll start her up and let her come up to temperature. Okay, that concludes the filling of the radiator system utilizing the Airlift system. There's a few systems that are identical to this. We'll have a couple of links where you can purchase these on Amazon. And don't forget to like and subscribe, come back often, and we're hoping this radiator is going to last us another 140,000 miles.
Till we get our C8.
Till we get our C8, this Corvette starter car.
The behind the scenes of the full Octane garage. What do you do, Kurt? What's my job?
You need to look pretty.
This is what you got to work with.